Yes, welcome back to the Mile High Hotspur. My name is Leo Coys. The Colorado Rapids lost 3-1 against the Philadelphia Union. And look, the scoreline doesn't tell the whole story, but at the same time, it kind of does, my homies. It honestly kind of does. We were ahead in the first half going into the half. Rafael Navarro put us up. We were moving the ball well enough. We were compact. And for a moment there, it looked like we were actually going to pull off something big away from home. And then just like that, it all fell apart. My homie, that game wasn't just a bad result. It's the kind of collapse that makes you question what direction we're really heading in. And with League's Cup coming up in literally just a few days, I have to say I'm worried. I'm honestly worried, my homies. So let's break this all down. We're going to talk about it raw and unfiltered. We're going to talk key stats, performances, both good and bad, what this means for our playoff hopes, and how this first half season sets the tone for what's coming in League's Cup and beyond. So, my homies, let's get into it. Here's the deal. The final score was Philadelphia Union 3, the Colorado Rapids 1. We had 38.7% possession. The Union over 61%. We took 5 shots all game, and only one of those was on target, and that was our goal from Rafael Navarro. Philly took 27 total shots. 11 of those were on target. Corners, they also had 11 of those, and we just had one. I mean, come on, my homies. Those numbers alone tell you everything. This was a game where we got completely overrun. In the second half, even more so. We got bullied in the midfield, pushed deeper and deeper as the game went on. And when the late goals came, I wasn't even surprised. Disappointed? Absolutely. But not surprised at all, my homies. So let's talk about the actual moments that flipped this game. In the 37th minute, Rafael Navarro scores. It's a great finish, great positioning. 2 goals in 2 games for him. If there's one guy who's stepped up recently, it's got to be Navarro. You've got to give him credit for that. And at this point, I was hyped. Like I said, we looked composed. We weren't giving up dangerous chances. And the crowd in Philly, from what you can see and hear on the TV, they actually got a bit quiet. And then, my homies, comes the collapse. The 64th minute, Baribo equalizes off of a corner. We got caught flat. Nobody tracks the runs. And it's 1-1. Another set piece goal against us. And it's like a reoccurring nightmare. It's like a reoccurring nightmare at this point. And then again, in the 89th minute, Mikhail Yura, however you pronounce the homie's name, I'll just say, Mikhail, at that one, he adds the one in the 89th, and that one felt like a punch to the gut. That one felt like the punch to the gut. Late in the game, we're scrambling, trying to hold on for a point, and then bam, there's your 2-1. And then just to twist the knife, the 95th minute, the same homie scores again. Game over, 3-0. We went from leading 1-0 to losing 3-1 in a game where we had everything to gain. That's gotta be unacceptable, my homies. That's gotta be unacceptable. Let's talk a little bit about what went wrong. Right? Because let's be real here. This game exposed a lot of the issues we've been talking about on my streams over the past weeks. Number one, the mentality. We don't have the killer instinct. We don't know how to close games out. When the pressure ramps up, it seems like we fold. And that game was just another example. Number two, our midfield shape. We couldn't even hold possession when we needed to. And you let a team like Philly, who are now number one in the East, just keep wave after wave after wave of attack going, we were gonna concede. We were gonna concede. And number three, the defensive marking on set pieces. Same old story, my homies. The same old story. And now with Cheeto gone, who we just sold to Nantes, we've got even less depth. I know we've added the new homie who's going to be integrated into the squad, but for right now, you can't win matches if you're giving up goals this cheap. It's just not sustainable. It's not, my homie, and I understand we're bringing in some depth. We're looking at players, and I hope we do get them. And I'm being fair. I want to shout out Rafa Navarro, like I said earlier. He's showing he can score. He doesn't need 10 chances to find the net once. He just needs the service. He made the most of the one look that he got a quick rebound. And and that's kind of it. I thought the first half we looked solid. Granted, we scored our goal against the run of play, but we were compact. We had a plan, and the team looked connected. But once Philly turned up the pressure in the second half, we had no answers. We had no answers. And let's look at the damage that's done. We were sitting in seventh in the West going into this match with 30 points. And after that one, we're still stuck at 30. And guess what? We dropped to ninth in the West. Teams around us are picking up points and we're just flattening. This is a league where one or two wins can launch you up the table. We're seeing it with these teams dropping points and us not taking advantage of it. But the same goes the other way. 1 to 2 losses and you're out of playoff contention real quick. We're now, there at the playoff line. We've played 25 games and there's not a lot of time to fix this. There's not a lot of time to fix this. And now, my homies, it's a sour taste because now we have to pivot. Now we have to pivot. Leagues Cup is kicking off this week, and we play against Santos Laguna. And I don't even know what version of the Rapids is gonna show up. Are we gonna get the first half version that stayed organized and took their chance? Or are we gonna get the second half version, sloppy in possession, panicky defensively, and mentally just checked out? Because if it's the latter, Santos is gonna cook us. And here's the silver lining, my homies. Leagues Cup can actually be somewhat of a reset button. We get to play outside of the MLS teams, test ourselves against new opposition, and maybe find some sort of rhythm. We need rhythm. This is the type of tournament that could build that confidence. We seen it last season, a deep run in the Leagues Cup. Or it'll destroy us. But let's hope that it's the former. It's like, where do we go from here, my homies? So here's what I'm gonna ask, do you believe in this squad to make the playoffs? Can Rafa Navarro carry the load offensively? Is there enough midfield stability without Cheeto in the back line anymore? And what would success in Leagues Cup even look like to you, my homies? Success means making it out of the group because we're playing some tough opponents, right? Santos Laguna, Tijuana. Those two games are here at home. And then we play Cruz Azul, a heavyweight. Winning one knockout match, advancing in the tournament, showing that we can compete, showing that we've learned something from the nights like this before. We've definitely had a few good moments this season. Yeah. But the pattern of fading in these games, it needs to stop. We can't keep letting leads slip. Whether it's before halftime conceding right before we go in, or whether it's right on the other side of half conceding as soon as we come out of the break. That needs to stop. We can't keep folding after one goal. It's time to toughen up mentally, my homies. This next month for the Colorado Rapids is make or break. Not just for the season, but for how this group of players is going to define itself, how this Chris Armas era is going to define itself. And I'm not giving up on this team, my homies. Not yet. Don't get me wrong. I'm not giving up on this team. Not yet. But if I'm I'm also not going to be sugarcoating it either. That match against Philly was bad. We let ourselves down. But this is the MLS, you know what I mean? And you're never really out of it. The table is definitely tight. And if we could string together 2 to 3 wins after that, after the League's Cup, we're definitely right back up there in the playoff picture. But that definitely starts with accountability. That game against Philly has to be a wake-up call. And that's all I got for you, my homies. If you've been watching the live streams, I definitely appreciate it. If you've been watching this video, I definitely appreciate it. Drop a like down in the comments. Look, my homies, let me know how you felt about the match. You know what I mean? What needs to change? Who do we build around? And are you ready for Santos? I'll be back tomorrow with I'm assuming it's gonna be a Leagues Cup preview. Hopefully have the homie Crash on and maybe another guest. Um and I hope we bring the heat for that one. I hope we bring the heat for that one. But until then, my homies, keep your heads up, stay strong, and as always, up the effing PIDs. Let's go, my homies. Have a good one.